Hey everyone, I hope you're doing super well. Have you ever noticed in the rare instance when I film my segments in my kitchen, the shots are always carefully positioned so you only see certain parts? Well, there is a reason for that. I am not good at caring for the plants in my kitchen. That pothos up there has been dead for 3 weeks, but we are going to solve that problem, and I also have a solution. You know, as a plant parent, I should be rather embarrassed over showing you guys this, but I am not embarrassed, not one bit. And that's because we plant parents, we all make mistakes. I mean, this was a mistake that has been going on for several weeks now, but it's still a mistake nonetheless. The fact of the matter is that I put this pothos up there a year and a half ago, and I was taking care of it so much so that it only had uh, its vines probably out to here, and then I put those little plant leaf clips up there to let it crawl up, and then it just started growing too much, and I just stopped caring. I'm just going to be honest with you. I just stopped caring, and but it looks like a mess. And so whenever I have people over, I'm like, yeah, look at all the other plants in the living room. They're just so gorgeous and lush and healthy. But don't look at the kitchen. Don't look at the kitchen. No, because this is what it's been like. And it's a shame too, because this pothos in particular here is one of the first plants that I got. But I'm okay with it. I'm okay with its demise. Granted, it's my fault, but also, it's kind of challenging to get to up here. I know I'm making excuses when this is all my fault. But just give me this. Just give me this one. Here's the thing, though. I'm curious to know: do you folks have plants in certain parts of your home that are difficult to get to that you tend to neglect for that exact reason? Let me know in the comments below because I'm curious. I know that other plant parents with large collections like myself, we all make mistakes, and we're not the best at every single plant that we have, but we try. Try telling it to that guy though. So what we're gonna do though is because I do want some foliage up here. I want some plants up here, but to do that without it being too big of a hassle for me to get up here, I have an idea, and we're gonna get to that in a minute. But first things first, we need to take care of this mess here, hither, I should say. And to do that, I am just going to start unclipping these babies. Yeah, pothos, pothos, like I said, was one of the first plants that I had. And I love pothos. I think they are just so traditional and classic, and they just spruce up a home, and they grow so fast. Like the golden ivy pothos can grow, I believe it's like 6 to 12 inches in 1 month during the summer month. And this one definitely grew last summer a lot. This summer it didn't grow just because I wasn't giving it water. Apparently you need water in order to grow. Who knew this concept, they say. Let's see, we're going to take this down. And yeah, I feel like pothos are kind of like the traditional house plant that most people have in their homes, and they are beautiful because their foliage is lovely and it fills up a nice space. And really, that's what I was trying to do up here above my cupboards, is fill up this space because I just had it blank before. And it does look nice blank, but I also like the idea of having some green up here, because in the last video I did, I showed you guys how I put together this propagation wall over here to add some color and some flair to that part of the kitchen. And so I do have an idea, and it's a simple idea that is really inexpensive and will also lead to you having more plants in your home, but using the time to uh, use them as decor and styling, because that is my favorite thing about plants, is using them and their aesthetic look to make areas pop. Yeah, I guess I do feel bad about this because this poor plant went through heck and back having to wait for me to water it, and it got to the point like when I would water it that the soil was so dry that it would just kind of seep through right away and cause issues. But alas, it's it's my fault. I will whisper that. I won't say that out loud. The other plants in my apartment are probably like looking over here and being like, "Jeez, that guy, I can't believe him." And you know what? They have every reason to feel that way if they do. But you know, the other ones get watered all the time. And if it wasn't for me neglecting this plant, they wouldn't have that. So they should be grateful. Here I am making more excuses for myself. I need to stop that. Okay, cut that down. Cut this baby down. And bloop. This plant looks like it has just dealt with just misery. It's been out in a desert. It needs water. It is not doing well. Okay, so we've got that part down. Need to grab this part here. And I will actually be able to reuse these pots. Yay. Look at that. I'm trying to find something good out of this bad situation that I created. Um, yeah, you know, it was really, gosh, last summer, and I wish I had pictures of it. Maybe I do. If I do, I'll put them up. But it was really beautiful last summer when I was actually putting effort into it because it just, I mean, those leaves, as they started climbing up the wall, they just got so big and beautiful. And epiprenum leaves, when they do grow in size, they can be stunning. Their foliage. And there's a plant shop here in Denver that used to have this massively large pothos, and the leaves, I kid you not, were like 12 inches long, and I'd never seen anything like it. But I believe last time I was there in early August, it was gone, so they must have sold it off. Rest in peace, little plant. It's like my last words are, I hope you die, Kevin. These plants just have so much anger. I don't get it, but whatever. Um, so got that part down. Now I need to hop up here, grab this baby. Ah! I'm like thinking that something's gonna pour out of this pot when it's literally just like dried soil that looks like concrete. I have nothing to worry about. Okay, so got those ones down. And throw these little vines down there. Oh, and that means I can also clean up the top of the cupboards here. How exciting. This is an exciting weekend for me because it's like dedicated all to plant chores. I'm in heaven. So I actually can get stuff done. Okay, so I need to hop up here. Pardon me, little ZZ plant. That ZZ plant was like in that corner over there. And it was on the struggle bus also because of me. But I did water it. And I moved it over here on top of the refrigerator. Well, I'll be able to get closer to it. This succulent, I haven't watered either. And somehow it's still alive, but we're going to take care of that a little bit later on. Put this down here as well. And then we're going to come up here. Also, by the way, if you've been watching my content and you really like this kind of stuff where I kind of bring you through my urban jungle and we design my apartment and watch it evolve like the jungle would in nature, please subscribe to my channel because that way you'll get notified if you hit the notification button about any new plenty content that I create. And again, I apologize when I go like 2 weeks, a week or more without producing content. And that's normally, as I've told you guys before, because I will get burnt out doing plant stuff, life stuff, and all I need to do at that point is just take a break and not produce content. But here I am having a weekend where I can dedicate myself to plenty content, and I'm excited for that. How exciting, guys. Just super duper exciting. Okay, we got that down, this down, and bloop, 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 bloop. One more. That is really sturdy, these cupboards and this fridge. Ta-da! Okay, so now comes the creative part, and I'm going to get to that in 1 second, but while that 1 second takes a second to get here, if that makes any sense, I'm going to clean off the top of the cupboard. So, uno momento. Uno momento took longer than I thought it would because not only did I want to pull out the clips that I had on the wall that were holding up the vines, but I also forgot that I had some little nail ones in there too. So I ended up spackling up those spots to make them nice and new. So now that that is all done, we are going to move into the creative part. The idea that I have, which is more propagations. But in order to do that, we need to move back over to the sink because that's where I have these two big, beautiful plants. And what I'm going to do is sort of like what I did in the last segment with my propagation wall, except this time I'm going to do some larger leaf plant propagations up there. I have some big water vessels, and I think it would look cool because that area up there is really great, especially when it comes to lighting for water propagation. So we are going to chop up my philodendron Dean McDowell and one of my philodendron giganteums. This Dean McDowell, by the way, is massive, and I have already a cutting that I had water propagated and potted up, and the thing has already grown on top of the one leaf that it had. Two additional leaves. This new leaf just came out recently, and there's a new growth point coming in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for some nodes, which would be right here. You can see them coming out. That's where some new growth is going to develop, some new roots once they're in the water, probably for about like, I don't know, 2 to 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know, 7 weeks. I think last time it took like a month. So I'm gonna cut about right here. Woo! Smooth cut. Nice. All right. So what I'm going to do, peel off this extra layer here where this new growth point is coming out. And I'm going to let that sit actually and callus over. That's one thing that I like to do instead of just putting cuttings right into the water is that I let them callus over for sometimes several hours, sometimes overnight. It really just depends on how much time I have. I'm going to move this ladder out of the way, blocking the view. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here to callus over overnight just so it is just so it has a better chance at propagating. And like I said, the last time when I had the other Dean McDowell cutting, that thing that thing took root really, really fast. So hopefully we see similar results with this guy here. Okay, so now on to the giganteum. Mind you, actually I want to take some of my handy dandy copper fungicide and spray that cutting where I just cut, just so there's no like bacterial issues or anything like that. Okay, so we'll move this big Dean McDowell leaf, and it's already got another growth point coming out here too. So now that I've cut off that area, it's going to transfer all the energy over to that one, so that'll be nice, and it'll continue to grow, and I can continue to make propagation. So this was the clippers that I just used on that one, but I'm going to use a different pair just to be safe. You never know if like a bacterial transfer or anything could happen in a plant. It does happen. Fortunately, I've not ran into that issue yet. Knock on wood. I don't want to jinx myself over it, but we're just going to do this just to be safe. So this is the philodendron giganteum, and it's funny because this cutting is actually one that I had growing in my kitchen on the wall here, and those ones took root really nicely too. And I think I want to do is, yeah, I want to just cut this one leaf, and it's got a new growth point coming out too, which would be really nice. So what I'm going to do is look for the nodes, and you can see them right there, those little look like stems coming out. So that's what we're going to do, and I'm going to turn this around so I can see it clearly. And I'm just going to cut 1/4 of an inch below, right about yonder. Woo, smooth cut. Take this part off. All right. So there we go. We have a giganteum cutting, and it's got 2 nodes on it, 3 nodes, 4 nodes. And I'm going to let that callus over too. I'm going to leave them right there. And yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them, instead of waiting just a couple hours, I might just, like I said, let them wait overnight. Though a few hours from now, if I'm bored, I might start going at it again, but you know, that's TBD. But yeah, that's where we stand. We have this giganteum here that is still a live plant and will continue to grow out a new stem, new leaf, probably relatively quickly. They're really fast growing plants, and same goes for the Dean McDowell. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. And then tomorrow, I'll probably start in the morning, and we will continue on and take the big water vessels, put them up top there, and turn them into big propagation tanks. And welcome back to the next day. These are the giant propagation vessels that we were talking about earlier. And I'm going to use, I think, some of them because overnight I got to thinking to myself that they might not be the most ideal for this kind of setup just because it's not like the cuttings are super duper long. And so I don't want to put them into too much water, but we're going to play around with a few ideas that I have. And here you go. Here's our cuttings that we took yesterday. I did let them callus overnight, but this morning I did put them in some water just so they can start that process. But we have our gigantium cutting here with a new growth point coming in, and you can see the nodes right there, those things that are sticking out. That's where the new roots will come out of. And we have our philodendron Dean McDowell here. This is a 2-leaf cutting with a new growth point, and those things grew in really, really quickly. Oh, I also today I took some cuttings. I don't know if you saw it when we had like a wide shot of the kitchen yesterday, but there was a gigantic potted up snake plant up there, and I took it down because I didn't want it to be like, water propagations and then a random plant. But I took a bunch of cuttings of its longest leaves. I mean, these things are pretty long, and I think what I'm going to do is use this guy for those ones. I'm thinking. Yeah. Okay, because I know that this one's kind of bendy. I also did a poor job of watering those, but yeah. Anyways, I think what we're going to do is we are going to start the process and we are going to head up the ladder. What we are going to do is start with the first vessel, which will go right in the middle here. Now, I happen to get these, I've had these vessels for a couple of years. I got this one particularly at Michael's. I think it was like $20 on sale. And Michael's, they always have like those coupons for an additional 20% off. So it was really cheap. And I really liked them a lot. I used to put candles in them, but I thought to myself, well, this could be great for, propagating more larger plants. And so that's what we're going to do. But I also have an idea for some other spots around here with smaller plants. So what I'm going to do, since this one's bendy, I'm going to try to put it like where it would lean up against the wall. So this way, that guy goes there. Ooh, he is too bendy. Maybe once we get water in there, maybe that'll help out. If not, I have some other options. I have some other things I could possibly do. Possibly is the key word there. This thing is it's giving me problems because it knows that the last plant that was up here was the pothos that I absolutely did not take care of. But you know what? If this thing's in water, it's going to be fine. In fact, what I like about propagating snake plants is that they shoot their new roots right out of the bottom uh, of their stems. And it's a slow process, but what I might do is I might just keep it in here for a long while and just kind of let it stay as decor. And so what I need to do is grab water, which is down there. Gosh. All right, we've got our water in one of the other water vessels. This one I also got from Michael's. I think it was like $5 at the time. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill up the water to about right there, just because I don't want to get the leaves all soggy and stuff. So we're just going to give them minimal amount, and that should actually be good. Okay, now for the rearranging part. Don't you worry, I am super safe on this ladder. I have not had any falls to this date, and I have been using this for, oh God, almost 3 years now. Yeah. Come on. I also have these like clips too that I could use in order. Oh, I could actually use this leaf to lean up against it like that. And I also kind of like the idea of hiding this one to bury it into there. Okay, cool. I like it. And then from there, we are going to take our philodendron giganteum cutting. I think the Dean McDowell would look nicer over there, the giganteum right over here. So that is what we're going to do. And with the cutting of the philodendron or Jose Bono, that's what I meant to say there. Jose Bono, why am I Dean McDowell? See, this is what happens when I do too many plant chores. So I'm going to keep the water low again. That way it doesn't come up to like where the new growth point is, and that'll make it much easier. So I'm going to pour some more of this water in here. Perfect. And what I want to do is just make sure those growth points are wet and they're not covered yet. So what I'm going to do in that case is I'm going to take, I do kind of like covering those like that. I'm going to take some of this water in here, and then I'm going to fill this part up. I'll have to take a step back once I have these all set up too, just so I can see like how you guys can see right now from the camera's point of view, how everything's looking good looking. So bring that forward. Cool. And then last but not least, our little, and not very little, but our giganteum cutting. I do need to get rid of some more of this water. So in you go. And so it is maybe just a little bit more. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. This one's leaf, though, kind of grew in kind of strange. So what we're going to do is we're going to, oh, maybe that'll look nice like that. Yeah, we'll bring this guy in closer. And maybe give them space. Like so. Now that we have that part done, there's another idea I had, because I have all of these fiddle leaf fig leaves that I took off of my fiddle leaf fig mother plant. And I was reading online that with their stems, where they're connected to the leaves, this part can actually propagate and grow roots. And so I'm interested to see that. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to put them on water propagation vessels on the wall. So in order to do that, oh, maybe I'll move a lot of these up here too. That could look cute. Super cute. We'll do one on each side. Yeah. Like right next to these guys. That one's like swaying its head like it's happy. Move this guy over here. Now, and I can put this little cutting of a global green pothos in here. Like so. Look at that. We're coming up with ideas together. This is teamwork. Teamwork. Thank you. Okay, so in the meantime, I'm going to put this guy down. And what I'm going to do is take this, and I need to jump back down to grab some more water, and I need to grab the hammer. Be right back. Okay, so I have my tools, everything I need. Ah, dropping one of the clips. I'm a mess. I also had a chance to take a step back to see how this looks, and I'm going to turn it like that. That way, both leaves will photosynthesize. Sunlight's coming in from the west. I'm going to have to move you for a moment, sir. Good sir, Zizi. And you, Moonlight Turbii Syndapsis. And as for you, Brazil, Philodendron Brazil Hederaceum, you go up there. And I'm going to put these clips, I think, right there. And I have a couple different water propagation vessels that are for the wall, different shapes, like an egg one, cone one, square one, and a circular one, because those fiddle leaf fig leaf cuttings are very interesting, and trying to fit them into the water propagation vessels with um, their stems is going to be interesting. But I'm going to put those over here as well. And I think what I'm going to do is maybe just do two of them, the larger ones. Okay. I might be able to actually take something with these small ones too, but we'll get back to that in a second. I'll leave those two down there, actually. So first things first, we are going to hop back up on the fridge, like one does. Actually, I don't know anybody who really jumps up on a fridge, but that's me. Okay, so if I want to do that, I'm going to do probably, I think, like in the middle. Not too high up, but enough, high enough. I'm going to draw like a little X there. Let's see how that measures out to be. 29 inches. Okay. So then I'm going to take one of these little hooks. They come with the water propagation vessels. And I'm just going to push that into the wall. Sometimes you're able to do it just with your own fingers, but I'll tell you, the hammer is always the better option. And of course, I left the hammer down there again. So, you know what that was? That was a hygrometer that I had clipped onto right here. I'll put it right back. Okie dokie, I've got the hammer. I've got the hygrometer back up there. Looks like it is 49% humidity over here. On the other side of my living room, the humidity is like 60%. So it's interesting to see like how much that differs during that time. Those glass propagation vessels there. And put my pen in my planty tool bag. This thing is my favorite thing ever, by the way. Whenever I'm doing my plant chores, which is like all the time, I'm always wearing it. Okay. So now what's nice about these is that they're really not like they're not nails. They're like almost like little thumbtacks, and so that's nice. Okay, I've got my cuttings, and let's see, how would this one do in there? Would it go better in there, or would it go better in a circular one? Actually, the circular one might be really good for it. Yeah, cool. And so what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of like creating some accents to just kind of go along with the rest of the cuttings. And so I just continue on with my propagation wall. So take a step down safely. Probably move this guy back over here. Could use that. Okay, so I've got that. Let me see here. Again, I have to go back down because I forgot the freaking water. Are you kidding me? This happens to me all the time. There we go. Okay, so I've got the water. I'm gonna fill this up here, and I'm just going to pour it into there. And all I want it to do is go right up to the part where the stem is. So let it cover up the stem, and then we'll be good. One down, guys. We're doing it. Okay, one down. Now we're going to take actually, I think I'm going to do 4 of them because why not? You know, why not? That's what I'm saying. Okay. So now with that, we're going to take our, don't do this again, hygrometer. I'm going to put you there for now. We're going to go up 29 9 inches. And grab my pen. $29.29, there you are. A little bit closer this way. $29. There it is. Put that in there. And then I'm going to push this guy in to here. I'm very interested to see whether or not this whole thing with the fig leaves will work. If not, I've literally taken like a philodendron giganteum cutting before that didn't have any nodes or any place where it could grow new roots. And I just put it in water and it stayed alive for like 5-6 months and then it quickly died off. So we'll see. What's also interesting is that I read that they can also turn into what's called like zombie plants. And it sounds creepy, right? But zombie plants are like Hoya carrii, the heartleaf Hoyas that you see that are really popular during like Valentine's Day. They sell them as one leaf cuttings. Like the plant will survive and it'll continue living, but it won't grow another leaf. And I've read that this, the fiddle leaf fig leaf thing can do the same, have the same exact effect. So maybe that's what'll happen. I'll have like little mini figs just kind of, living around. But this is an experiment that we'll do updates on so you guys can see what has happened. Cool. We've got another one. Make sure that's even. Beautiful. That's pretty. Never done this with a fiddle leaf fig. In fact, I've had my fiddle leaf fig for like 4 or 5 years and it's growing tall, but I didn't take care of it at first. And now it's just starting to do really well. And its bottom leaves started coming off. So I just chopped them and I'm like, let me see if I can do something artsy with all this. And that's what led to this idea here. Put that pen over there. Okay. And then slowly, cautiously, make our way down. All right. Okay, that's cool. I'm liking it so far. I can't see what it looks like from your guys' vantage point yet, but I'm hoping that it'll look pretty swell. Leave some comments below. Let me know what you think so far and whether or not this is something that's giving you guys ideas. I'd love to hear. Okay, so now we're going to go, how many inches away? Let me grab this guy. And so how many inches away is that from pot? Okay, we're looking at 13 inches. 13 inches, here we go. If I was smart, what I would have done is put those up first and then put the plants in the front, but I wasn't thinking, clearly. Okay, move this guy over. There we go. And these two. Okay. So we've got 3 left. Which ones are the biggest ones of the 2? So with the 3, these guys. Okay, we'll go with those ones. Well, this one does have a longer stem. We'll figure it out. Getting ahead of myself here, guys. Keep me in check. Oop, forgot those guys over there. Okay. So now comes the interesting part of, okay, 13 and then 29.4. 29.4. over. Right over here. Okay. And then we're going to do this guy right here at 29.4. 29.4. Okay, cool. Hard part's out of the way. Now for the fun part. This is all fun. Stressful fun, I swear. Okay. Okay. Drew into that. Okay. We take this fella here, put him in. Oh no! It moved the snake plant. I'll fix that in a second. Just put this one in first. Sorry about that, Mr. Snake Plant. Causing you a headache. All right. So now we move on with our water propagation vessels. And I think we're going to go with these square ones. Yeah, the square ones are going to go well because it fits the leaf in there, in the root or the stem. And I already have one of them that I was using down here. Actually, just reuse both of these. Let me pour that out. Cool. And then put that in there. And then I think we're going to go with, well, the guy looks bigger. Just moving this one over because it's a little bit larger and I feel like it'll stand out more when you're looking from the living room. Again, an aesthetic thing. It's just me being me, being picky with my plants, cuttings. Okay, beautiful. And actually, what I might do is take this guy out and put this one here instead, like so. Yeah, no, this one instead. I like the way this one looks better. Beautiful. Okay, now it's very clear I'm going to need some more water, so that's what I'm going to do. More water is back. Okay, so we'll pour this into the front, get it up to the stem. And then pour in for this guy. I love using old wine bottles because they're just so perfect. Their nozzles are narrow and it's just easy peasy to use for watering, especially when you have to like hop on a ladder and try to get some really crazy areas. Thinking actually these guys might go more in the middle, like so. And then tuck this guy into here. Some more. This is literally one of the most annoying things about me is that I will spend hours upon hours upon hours trying to figure out what is the best look. It drives people crazy. but I'm fine with that because it makes me happy. Oh, humidity's at 51% now. How lovely. Okay. So I'm also thinking, because I've got space over here, I've got space over there, that I do have cuttings of a monstera. Ooh, I could do that. I could take the cuttings of the monstera and put it in the corner over there. So let's do that. All right, I'm back, and I have some other things too. I think what I'm going to do is in this corner, I'm going to put a cutting that I have of a philodendron burley marks, and I'm going to move this leaf down here and take this, place it over yonder, down below, there, so I don't trip on those thingies. Also, I wanted to switch out the glass vase from this one because I really like when things are matching, and this color is green for that vase. So we're going to nix that and keep it with the clear. And I'm going to put this down here. And then for our Monstera Deliciosa friend, which I have been water propagating, already started to root, we're going to put it in here. And it's going to go over here. Well, I don't like them being too far away, so this one can be like there, and then this guy we'll put down here with the tools, and then the Billy will go maybe right there. Ample lighting because of where the light comes in from the west over here, and because my walls are white, it just reflects so well, and they'll get some really good lighting over there, so I'm excited for that. I'm going to put Mr. Zizi back over here, hiccuping. I ate dinner a little while ago. Made pork chops, by the way, in case you were wondering. Shake and bake pork chops with applesauce. I went old school, guys. And then I'm going to take this philodendron Brazil, and we are going to put it. I want it in front. No, I want it to go in back of Moonlight Syndapsis. Isn't this pot really cute, by the way? My friend Mary Ellen, she made this for me, and it's got holes in the front, so when you water it looks like it's crying. It's so cute. But it likes it up here. And I like it up there, too. So there you go. Take a look at that, guys. I mean, this is what I really wanted to do, and I've been meaning to do this for the last couple of months, but I've just been so busy and everything's just been stressful. So I'm glad that I finally got around to it, because when you saw how awful it looked with the dead pothos up here compared to now, oh man, what a difference. And the nice thing is that I won't have to come up here to care for these because they're just water propagating. They're sitting there in water. I'll have to switch out the water every so often, but man, oh man, I just get to sit back there and watch them root. And this is an excellent place to have them root. Hey, I'm so glad that you guys joined along for this adventure. What an adventure it was. If you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and then also make sure that you check back for more fun planty content just like this as we continue to redo and evolve my urban jungle. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.